Sevatar, you shouldn't be here.
My lord.
You shouldn't be here. Tell me why you came.
What kind of question is that? You are my Primarch, father. Why wouldn't I risk myself to save you?
Because I am your Primarch. And I lead a legion of foul-hearted wretches with no sense of loyalty to me or to each other.
And yet I am so very popular among my brothers. The mystery of it all fascinates me. Why do you dwell on these moments, Lord? What calls you back to the past, when the future is still threatened?
You shouldn't be here. Not because this is private to me. I don't care about that, Sev.
Then why not?
You know why not. In a single night you've undone decades of suppressing your talent. Your psyche is no longer guarded. I can read you in a way I've not been able to do for years. I can see your barriers, for they are no longer barriers at all.
I don't want to know.
Yes, you do. Everyone does.
I asked you not to tell me back then, sire. Please, keep to our former agreement.
No. You would die in battle.
That is hardly surprising, Lord. I've no desire to know the rest.
You're safe, Sev. I see little beyond that obvious truth.
You are making me regret doing this. I'd hope to find you, man.
And
save you, sire.
that's why I enjoy your company so much, Sevatar. You tell the driest jests.
I have gathered a third of the Legion, Lord Curze. The Chiroptera stand ready once more. I intend to scatter the fleet, leading a bulk of our forces to Terra. The rest will dissolve into the void, harassing Imperial supply lines, bonding worlds, carving fresh skinning pits at the heart of cities, just like the old days.
You say Imperial, as if we aren't Imperial ourselves.
I'm not sure we are anymore, sire. Trez is with me. I can hear him, feel him, in the back of my mind. He is helping me be here, but I am not sure how.
He is a good man, at least as good as one is likely to find in our fleet. We are none of us good men, are we?
We do what is necessary, sire. Lord.
Speak, Seb.
Why do you hate us?
What?
Why are you the only Primarch to hate his own legion? What have we done to you?
I spoke with Angron and Lorgar not long ago. They told me of their purges, cleansing the untrustworthy elements from the 12th and 17th. I laughed when they said it, at the sheer absurdity of the idea. They knew exactly when to stop killing of the weak, the treacherous and the corrupt within their bloodlines. I wouldn't even know where to begin calling mine.
On any other day, sire, such words might hurt my feelings.
Look around you. You were born on this world. You grew to adulthood here just as I did. The Emperor praised me for my rule over this world. Even Fulgrim admired it. A model of compliance. An obedient world, they said. Were my people happy? Did that even matter? I made these people human despite their feral drives. I made them civilized despite their baser instincts. I raised them above the level of beasts. That was my responsibility to them as a superior being, and I fulfilled it. And see how my people rewarded me. I was gone only a handful of years before everything soured. My own homeworld poisoned my legion with recruits who were worthless as soldiers. Rapists, murderers, thieves, the scum, the dregs, the detritus.
Sire, you are no different. The Legion is disorderly and vile because it is cast in your image.
No, you don't understand. I've never claimed to be perfect, Sevatar. But I became the sinner, the monster, the night haunter. So my people would never have to. And look at the result. Look at the recruits from Nostramo less than a decade after I departed. Look at the filth they sent me. Look at the disgusting dregs of humanity, my own apothecaries infused with my genetic material and reforged into transhumans. The eighth is poisoned, Seven. Generations of men who are murderers in my image, yet devoid of my conviction. They are killers and abusers because they want to be, not because someone had to be.
The end result is the same. Fear is the weapon. Where is the nobility in any of this? You claim a savage nobility, father, but this is far more savage than noble.
There was no other way.
No. What other ways did you try?
Sevatar.
Answer me, father. What politics of peace did you teach? What scientific and social illumination did you bring to this society? In your quest for a human utopia, what other ways did you try beyond eating the flesh of stray dogs and skinning people alive?
It was the only way.
The only way to do what? The only way to bring a population to heal. Then how did the other Primarchs manage it? How has world upon world managed it without resorting to butchering children and broadcasting their screams across the planetary voxnet?
Their worlds were never as serene as mine was.
Then the serenity of yours died the first second you turned your back. So tell me again how you succeeded. Tell me again how this all worked out perfectly.
You overstep your bounds, first Captain!
How can you lie to me like this? How can you lie to yourself? I stand here inside of your mind, witnessing a theater of your memories. Your way is the 8th Legion way now, but it has never been the only way. Just the easiest way.
You lie!
You enjoyed this way. You came to love it, just as we all did. The power and the righteousness.
The son of a god. Get up, Sevatar. Leave me be.
I am going nowhere, Sire. Not without you.
I admire your tenacity. I always have. But you are a shadow of what I am, Sevatar. You cannot match me. Go.
Welcome back to Voxel Uplink, where today we will be taking a broad look into the life of Konrad Curze, Primarch of the 8th Legion, the Night Lords. We will discuss Konrad's origins, his character-defining moments throughout the Great Crusade and the Horus Heresy, as well as his ultimate downfall. This will be the 7th in a series of Primarch videos, each of which detailing the basic overview of each son of the Emperor. As always, please keep in mind that these are only brief overviews of each Primarch. And if you're interested in hearing more, then drop a comment down below and let me know. If you're enjoying the content, please check out the links in the description, drop a like, and consider checking out my other content too. With all that said, let's get on with the video. He was born screaming in the dark, a blade in the night, a judgment rendered in blood. To some, he was a monster, to others, a martyr. But, to the galaxy, he was the Night Haunter. Today, we descend into the shadow-draped tragedy of Konrad Curze, the Emperor's most cursed son. A prophet of doom, a weapon of fear, and a child devoured by his own visions. From Nostramo's ash-choked alleys to the final whisper before his death, we follow the life and legacy of the Night Lords' Primarch, and ask, was he mad, or simply the only one who saw the truth? Konrad Curze was not discovered by kings, nor sages, nor tribes. He was born alone, crashing to the surface of Nostramo, a world so steeped in corruption it had long since forgotten the concept of light. Nostramo was a dying industrial world, its people crushed under oligarchic rule, crime syndicates, and misery. The crust was rich in adamantium, but the soul of the world was hollow. The infant Primarch landed in the deepest bowels of the planet. Unlike many of his brothers, he had no family, no mentor, no guiding hand. Upon digging himself out from beneath the planet's crust, he grew in the Underhive's alleys, hunting for food and killing for survival. And from the beginning, he saw. Konrad's curse manifested early. Prophetic visions, always of death. He would see murders before they happened, see his own fate over and over and over. In his sleep, he screamed. Awake, he killed. Eventually, he became more than just a spectre. He became legend. The criminals called him the Night Haunter, a phantom who slaughtered the guilty with surgical precision. Bodies of criminals were found flayed, nailed to walls, disemboweled. But crime began to recede. Terror replaced anarchy. The people did not rejoice, however. They cowered. By the time the Emperor found him, Konrad Curze was already a tyrant. Not a ruler of men, but a god of punishment. The Emperor, as with all his sons, sought to reclaim what was his. When he arrived on Nostramo, there was no resistance. For Konrad knew he would come. He had seen it in his dreams. Yet the reunion was tense. Konrad did not trust easily. The Emperor's light was a blade to him, a thing that revealed what should stay hidden. Still, he accepted command of the 8th Legion, the Night Lords. They had suffered without his gene legacy, serving as executioners and terror troops. Under Konrad's hand, they became something worse, something more effective. He transformed them. Their armors darkened. Their tactics shifted from frontal assaults to surgical, psychological terror. Cities surrendered at the rumor of their approach. Rebellions ended before a bolt was ever fired. But Konrad's methods clashed with the imperial ideals. He did not believe in redemption. Only fear could preserve order. Only death could teach lessons. To him, justice was pain. His brothers, particularly Rogel, Corvus, and Sanguinius, viewed his methods with unease or outright disdain. But Konrad never cared for approval. Konrad was never well. Where Guilliman built and Horus inspired, Konrad suffered. His mind, riddled with prophetic torment, became a prison. The more he served the Emperor, the more he saw hypocrisy. He witnessed a future of civil war, betrayal, and damnation. When he reported these visions, he was dismissed, told to be silent, told to obey. And so, the seed of resentment grew. As the Great Crusade wore on, the Night Lords grew more brutal. Konrad turned a blind eye. Then, he stopped pretending to care at all. On one world, he slaughtered a planetary governor for hoarding supplies. On another, he executed an entire city's worth of rebels, along with their families. Imperial censure followed. Konrad's response was savage. The line between justice and vengeance blurred, and then vanished altogether. When Horus rebelled, Konrad did not hesitate to join the traitors. But it wasn't out of loyalty. Konrad saw it coming, years before it happened. He had long predicted that the Imperium would eat itself, that the Emperor was a tyrant cloaked in gold, and that the dream of unity was a lie. So, when Horus turned, Konrad believed he was embracing the truth, not betraying it. He believed he had no choice. His legion descended fully into madness. Flayings, crucifixions, nightmarish torture became the norm. They became monsters because the galaxy, Konrad said, deserved monsters. On Sagawalsa, Konrad murdered a loyalist brother, Ferrus Manus' emissary, and declared that law was meaningless in a universe ruled by violence. He was no longer the Night Haunter. He had become vengeance incarnate. Even Nostramo, the world that birthed him, was not spared. Konrad returned to his homeworld and found it fallen into complete chaos once again. Without him, the fear had faded. The crime had returned. It proved his point. People only behave when they're afraid. In a fit of rage, Konrad gave the order. The Night Lords destroyed Nostramo from orbit, cracking the planet with lance strikes, vaporizing cities, and reducing it to lifeless rocks drifting through space, little more than debris. This was not justice. It was annihilation. The last tie to his humanity had been severed. Konrad Curze did not die in battle. He did not fall to a loyalist blade or a demonic curse. He chose his death. After the heresy, the Night Lords fragmented, becoming warbands and pirates. Konrad, broken and exhausted, began living in exile aboard the Invincible Reason, a Dark Angel's ship. There, he spoke with Malkarian, his chief bodyguard and chronicler. He confessed his guilt. He admitted to his own madness. But more than anything, he claimed vindication. He had always seen the future, always known the Imperium would become a fascist horror of bureaucracy, fire, and silence. And in that vision, he had done nothing wrong. When the Calibanite assassin Mshen finally found him, Konrad did not fight. He sat upon his throne, welcomed the blade, and died with a whisper.
I die in the knowledge that I was right.
Konrad Curze left no empire, no bastions, no recorded successes. But his legacy lives on in the Night Lords, fractured though they are. His gene sons are a dying breed of haunted killers, drifting through the void like wraiths, carrying out justice in the only way that they understand, through fear. They do not fight for chaos, they do not serve the dark gods. They are lost souls, defined not by allegiance, but by purpose. To them, the Imperium is a rotting lie, and they are its punishment. Even more than 10 millennia later, ghosts of Curze's voice appear in strange places, in dreams, in visions, in warp-touched whispers. Some say he still speaks through the warp. Others say his soul is trapped in eternal torment. But perhaps the truth is much simpler. Perhaps Konrad Curze was never meant to survive. Perhaps he was never meant to lead. He was meant to show the galaxy what it really was. A place where hope is a lie, and fear is the only law that matters. He was not a hero. He was not the villain. He was a warning. Konrad Curze did not break the galaxy. He simply revealed it. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch through this video. Please consider dropping a like and subscribing if you enjoyed it, as it will greatly help out the channel, as well as giving me some idea of what you guys want to see more of in the future. If you'd like to support the channel, then please head over to the Voxel Uplink Patreon. It may still be early, but I do have a lot of big plans for it, and you'll be seeing a lot of exclusive content coming out on it soon. I'd like to also give a special shout out to the two gentlemen who joined me for the opening sequence of this video as Konrad Curze and Jago Sevatar. Whether you enjoyed today's content or not, please let me know your thoughts and opinions on Konrad Curze and his Night Lords down in the comments. Keep your eyes peeled, as next week we'll be covering Sanguinius and the Blood Angels.